So what will happen to Adam Montgomery in prison, the man who's on trial for killing his own daughter? Now, in case you're not familiar with this case or who this person is, this guy is from New Hampshire. And this is literally the definition of when the system fails. This is literally when the children's voice are never heard until it's too late. And this shit happens too many times. So before I give you a rundown of exactly what's going to happen to him in prison, to this piece of shit, let me give you a rundown of this case. So 2014, a beautiful baby girl is born, Harmony. You know, unfortunately, the one thing in life you can't do wrong is be a parent. You could fuck up, rebuild, go bankrupt, rebuild, get arrested, get out, rebuild, but you can't fuck up at being a parent. So she's born, and her biological mother and her biological father are both drug addicts. One is in prison and one is struggling just to stay sober. So she keeps losing her baby, the mother of Harmony, and it goes into foster care, comes back to her, goes into foster care. So eventually the baby gets adopted and the family's trying to fully adopt it. Well, the piece of shit Adam gets out of prison and files to get full custody. So now in the beginning, you know, he's seeing his daughter for about 5 months in 2017, 18, and eventually he just never shows his face again. He eventually gets back in his daughter's life and ends up getting full custody. The mom's still on dope, and at that time he was clean. So now he's living with her, his girl, and his other 2 kids he has from another woman. So basically his daughter's half brothers and sisters. So at this time, he has an uncle there. And an uncle makes an anonymous report saying that, yo, man, he's beating the shit out of her. He's putting her in timeout so long that she's peeing herself. And now, mind you, this girl is only 5 years old, saying she's scrubbing the bathroom with her toothbrush. I mean, just sick shit that you don't ever do to any kid, let alone your own kid. So around 2017, a FaceTime call with the mom, the biological mother, and Adam, the biological father, you know, basically was kind of sketchy. Like, she could feel that her daughter was kind of being coached, and it would pause, and you could just see the fear. And she just had a gut feeling that something wasn't right. So he disappears. DCF comes to the house about to complain about her having a black eye and all the mistreatment. Nobody does shit. He says, I was one of the other kids fucking around. She's straight. Mind you, at this time, they're living off of a generator in that house. And then they eventually get kicked out the house, and he's got him, his girl, and 3 kids living out of a regular car, like a regular sedan. Like I said, times get hard, but you sacrifice it all for your kid. It doesn't matter if you ain't gonna eat. They need to be somewhere safe, a bed, healthy, and protected. So the mom just has a feeling something wasn't right with that call. And for 2 years, she can't find her daughter. So she keeps making complaints with, you know, Department of Children's and Family and everything in New Hampshire, the cops, just constantly making complaint after complaint. And they're basically telling her, you don't have custody, you have to file in the courts, just giving her the runaround. And it took about 10 files and grievances for them to finally do a little bit of investigation. They go to Adam and say, where's your daughter at? Oh, he's with the mom. So nobody thought it was suspicious that, hey, you know, the mom is saying the daughter isn't with her, and now he's not with her either. And he's saying that the daughter's with her, the one that's looking for her daughter. I mean, come on. I mean, y'all could put 2 and 2 together. Something ain't right, especially with the history they have. But instead, more time goes by, and finally, she writes to the mayor and says, this shit is fucked up. I'm going to go public with this, and within like a month, they're doing a full-on investigation looking for the girl. So after it all became public, and it's a major investigation on this beautiful girl, Harmony, 2 years have already passed. So they find Adam, and basically what they say is, you're coming down here. They interrogate him. So as he's lying and manipulating the system, the mother of his other 2 kids, they call her in, and they say, hey, when was the last time you saw Harmony? Oh, it was like 2 days before Thanksgiving. I was working at Dunkin' Donuts. Adam came there and said he was bringing them back to the mom's house. Well, they find out she wasn't working any of those shifts. Complete lie, perjury. They bring her in, and she says, nah, I'll cop out. I'll testify against him. Adam killed that baby and does it all, and they give her 18 months. But that's not even the sick part of the whole thing. While they launch an investigation, they find a bunch of stolen guns and dope, and Adam gets hit with the Habitual Offender Act and gets basically 30 years in prison, followed by 10 years in prison, followed by 13 years in prison for burglaries, possession of firearms by a convicted felon, just case after case. Now, they usually run them concurrent, which means you can have 10 charges, and yeah, it might be 50 years, but they're going to just have you do one bid. But instead, what they're having them do is 30 years, then 8 years, and 10 years, because they don't want this motherfucker to ever get out, and they want to keep him where they can find him during his trial. So shit gets real now. They know that he did some foul ass shit, but 2 years have gone by, right? And that's a long time for a little child to be missing. I mean, come on, man. That's just, I can't go 2 minutes without thinking about my son, let alone someone talking about 2 years. So his girlfriend at the time, or his wife, whatever you want to call her, the mother of his other 2 kids, says that basically what happened was she had an accident in the car and he beat his daughter to death. And they would basically keep her in the car, and then as she started to decompose, they would put her in a duffel bag and put her in like a cooler, a freezer, and slowly start to chop up little pieces of the body. It's a rough one, guys. They even hid her behind some drywall. Neighbors were complaining about the smell. Long story short, they chopped her up, and nobody knows where she is, and they did it over the course of 2 years. So fast forward, the man's already in prison while he's facing this murder trial. Now, I know motherfuckers like him. Piece of shit, demonic cowards. See, the worst part about it is he plays tough guy. He likes to play that gangster role. But that's a wrap. You killed your own child, homie. It's a wrap. You get no respect. All that fake gangster shit, all those tough guy tattoos, all that tough talk, all those teardrops. Oh, everybody sees through that shit now. You beat a little girl to death and then hid her body, your own flesh and blood, a baby girl. So a guy like that goes into prison, and he still tries to act hard. He still tries to keep that front on. But one thing about it, doing my research on this case, this man's going to get hit up immediately. Obviously, during the trial and during everything, to keep him safe. That's just how it goes, because they need to get justice for all the victims, for harmony. But once that's over, they're not trying to extort this man. They're not trying to give him slow pain. It's on sight. Every single day of his life, the COs, the convicts, the fucking GED teachers, everybody wants to get at him. And his mask has been removed. He's so used to playing the tough guy, the gangster, and trying to fit in with a crowd. But the true him has been revealed. And he is so embarrassed. He's so humiliated. And that's the best thing you can do to a coward like that. A piece of shit child killer is show the world who they are. I mean, they're going to poison his tray. I mean, they're going to shit in his food. Every chance they get, hit him with dirty needles, slice him across the face. I mean, open the door, let somebody come in there and just beat his face in, feet, hands. I mean, every chance they get. And those little gang tattoos he have, oh, it's mandatory that they're going to cut those off his fucking throat. I promise you. The second any OG sees where he's at and is able to make a call on it, those tattoos are coming off from ASAP, from that organization that he's trying to represent and be tough with. Eventually, he's either going to take his own life or someone's going to cut his throat in the middle of the night. Because it's a type of crime, it doesn't matter your race, your religion, it doesn't matter what side of the fence you on, CO, convict, whatever it may be, gang, organization. You do this to a little girl, you did this to your own daughter and try to play tough and try to represent an organization. Oh no, they all come together and cut your fucking throat out. That's what his future is. They'll let him be safe until he gets found guilty. Then within about a year or two, his throat's getting cut. Now, this is what happens when the system fails you. Time and time again, you see the parents taking matters into their own hands because the system fails you. They lie, they manipulate, and shut you down. Stay out, stay free. Us.